Hey, this is comedian Flame Monroe, and welcome to this week's episode of Laugh and Learn. Baby, let me tell y'all something. Tomorrow is Flame Monroe's birthday. Now, it's not my birthday, per se, but it is Flame Monroe's birthday because the first time I created this lady, it was on Halloween. I would tell you what year, but it's a voting year, and we got to hold some of these truths. How you toots? How you, Bobbi Clifford? Yeah, it's going to be my birthday tomorrow. Don't ask me, am I giving out a trick or a treat? I turned plenty tricks and I gave away many treats. I just want you to know that's how it has happened in my life. But we're glad to be here. Happy Halloween to everybody that celebrates Halloween and all that foolishness. Oh, I saw the funniest joke about Halloween that Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate Halloween because they don't like strangers coming to their door. The irony. And they knock on every stranger's
That is
door every
his.
day in the morning. I said, "Oh, that is funny as shit."
That is funny. I was funny. I had a girl that was a Jehovah Witness that I drove home from work once, and it was Christmas time. And I might have told this before. And I had Christmas music on, and she asked me to take it off. And I said, "Oh, why?" I didn't know if she didn't like it. I didn't know what it was. And she said, "Because the last celebration to the Jehovah Witnesses was John the Baptist when he got beheaded, so they don't celebrate." And she found it offensive, my music. And I was thinking, I don't know how offensive you'll find it to walk the 30 miles home, but I was a nice nice girl, and I shut it off. But I was missing my ho ho ho.
Tell her, ooh, okay, that was fun. That was funny, Bobby, but I'm gonna leave that alone because I almost said something.
I
And
know,
look, enough people have said the wrong shit this whole week. If y'all been watching the
right?
news, which we were talking about it, I'm gonna bite my tongue on that one because, baby, y'all, ooh, somebody didn't read the room, or did they? That's the question. Did that comedian read the room or not? Because I always tell y'all, read the room. Did he read the room? He felt safe enough to say exactly that when the whole world was watching. But we'll get down to that. First of all, we
Okay,
want to start off by welcoming everybody. Thank you. We're on episode number 23, Bobby. Is this 23? 22.
22.
Ooh.
I gave you the
Ooh.
wrong number last week. I'm sorry. It's actually 22.
Okay,
Ne-
make 22. That means keep one with you. Oh yeah, the number 22. And we thank you guys for joining us. Please tell your friends to download us on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, iHeart, but definitely on the Black Effect Network because that is why we are here. We want to mourn the passing of Terry Gahr, a great actress. You may remember her from so many different movies, but the two that Bobby and I just mentioned off camera was A Young Frankenstein, and my personal favorite was Tootsie. She played
yeah.
Dustin Hoffman's girlfriend, and he got in drag and stole her job. Sound familiar? Uh, but
And
she
Mr.
was
Mom.
so
Yeah, she's
adorable,
adorable.
so cute, and she had battled multiple sclerosis for many, 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 many years. How old was she, Bobby?
She was 79, so she must have been 59, which scares the bejesus out of me because I thought there was a window for MS, and I thought that you and I were certainly out of that window to even think
Wait
about
a
getting
minute.
it.
Hold on. Back up. Stop that story. You were. Don't put me in your age demographic. I am 39. I don't know why you Ooh, y'all better get this woman. Y'all better get. She's acting like a Republican. Oh.
Oh, too funny. Yeah, but what a sweet, she was super sweet, and I would have loved to have seen her do more, but I think her illness hit really, really hard. I think it was exceptionally debilitating for her. So I think it took her right out of doing any work. So that's kind of sad.
So that's not the one that breaks down your muscles, though. That's multiple. That's multiple. Oh, I can't say the word. Say it. Muscular dystrophy.
Dystrophy, muscular dystrophy, but this is multiple
Yeah.
sclerosis does. It is. It's so you can't, oh my God, Blair is her last name. I there's a girl like she played in she's been in a few movies, and Selma Blair, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
also has
She
a,
played in
yeah,
Legally Blonde.
that's what I was trying to think of, as well as Christina Applegate. They all three of them have it, and
Mm.
it puts you off. For some people it's like they can't stand, like you get dizzy as well. I mean it's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing.
Y'all didn't know this is Laugh and Learn, and prayers to those ladies. But you know, all of those symptoms that you just described, we watch all week on the news.
Right? It's true. You're not lying. But
Woo!
unfortunately, these ladies have an actual reason to actually have it. So so our hats go off to her and her family. She was a terrific lady. Uh, yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, rest in peace to Terry Gahr. You guys Google her. She was a really, really good actress. And from all the celebrities coming out that was from her era, they have such pleasant things to say about you. Because, you know, these celebrities ain't like back in the day because you got to watch old Betty Davis interviews. If Betty Davis didn't like you, she had no problem calling her straight out. Right out with that cigarette, like, oh, she was terrible. Y'all ain't like that now. Y'all run to the internet and make up some shit. Oh my God.
Oh, she was. Yeah, that's to it. But 5 days, it'll be 5 days to the election. It's kind of scary. We've had some endorsements. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who has been a
Yes,
lifetime.
I'll be
Yeah,
back.
he will. He says he is an American before he's a Republican. You absolutely have to vote for Kamala. And then somebody I don't know. I don't know if you've ever followed wrestling. I'm not somebody. So we saw the Hulk and we saw the Undertaker. Is that his name? They came out for Trump. Somebody named Mick Foley. His wrestling name was Mankind. He didn't want to come out. He didn't want to discuss it. But he lives in one of the swing states, and he said they're going to be so tight that if he could sway just a handful of votes, like a couple hundred votes, and that makes the difference, he had to endorse Kamala. I think he also is a lifelong Republican, but he said this is something very different, and we
Yeah.
need to come out.
And the respect that I have for the Republicans, especially the lifelong ones or the people who
Hmm.
were staunch, I'm going to vote this way, but you have chosen your country over your partisanship or over the foolishness that's happening that you see, because what we all are, and Bobby and I have discussed this, which is why we look like what we look like on this show. We are Americans and we want to save our country.
Hmm.
Y'all know that other one is a agent of chaos and he want to take us to hell. And we all know we not prepared for that. I do believe there will be a few incidents no matter what. But I'm telling you something right now. The South will not, what happened in the South will not rise again. We have to get to these polls. And I love that she has really been after the men
Hmm.
to sway back on her side. But I think what really helped our plight, Bobby, without even asking for it, was the fact that at the Trump rally at Madison Square Garden the other day, the comedian Tom
Oh,
Hinchcliffe is his name. Kill Tony. He has a podcast called Kill Tony. Now he was very good at and here's the thing. I think he's a pretty decent, not even a pretty decent. He's a funny comedian, but he is an insult comedian. Like,
he's a
what was
roaster.
yeah, what was the lady's name? Tall, well, really, really rude. Oh my God. She retired. She lost all the weight and retired. She loved black men, comedian. She was the insult comic. I can't think of her name. It'll come to me. Anyway, uh, because he did the Tom Brady roast and move,
That's right.
but he came out with the joke about there's a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean, and I think
Yeah.
it's called Puerto Rico. So for the, all and when I tell you, and I said this on Coffee Time, if you call a Puerto Rican a Mexican, or if you call a Mexican a Puerto Rican, they get in their feelings. They really do get. They don't like to be but when you attack the Latino community, whether you are Cuban, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Guatemala, they stick together like glue. And I'm telling you, that loud insult was like a shot heard around the world. They are going to, and it's plenty. Now he did tell the truth. They do have a lot of babies. I even say that on stage as a joke, but they stick together. When I tell you they're gonna put the call out, baby. The Latino community is really going to go in. They may change their mind because of that bullshit, and we may get a lot of those votes, Bobby.
Well, I hope so because I mean he is a roast comedian. That's what he's done. Now I only learned this from you, from when you were on Sherry Shepherd. I don't. So Trump is trying to come out and say his team that they knew nothing about nothing. That's not true. We've heard through CNN, through MSNBC, that they had to submit a script and they actually made him take out, I guess they were going to call the vice president the C word. So they're reporting. You and I don't know this. This is what we've heard. And they pulled it out. So why was that okay to pull out? And he didn't just go for the Puerto Rican, which is by the way, American. They're part of us. They're
Yeah.
picking on part of us, which doesn't surprise me because Trump last week in a rally called several times he said it. He called the United States a garbage can. So that's what he's thinking of us, which is really disappointing. So this is really saying that a floating island garbage is sort of in line. But he insulted the Jews. He insulted women. He insulted black people. He
Yes, it did.
said something about carving watermelons or something
Yeah.
really outrageous. And I think he actually, people are probably going to be mad at him, but I think he did his job, just like the Tom Brady roast. He was given an assignment. He delivered the assignment, and now all of a sudden this backlash because they didn't realize, ooh, this wasn't so great. I have to say, I don't know who the other speakers were. Maybe you do. Somebody said that Kamala Harris had pimp handlers. Somebody else called her the Antichrist. I didn't recognize any of them, to be honest with you. So it was kind of lost on me. But it
Um,
was, oh,
So back to what you said about Hincliffe, and I love that you said that you learned it from the Sherry Show. So when Bobby is telling you all that, when I did the Sherry Shepherd Show, everything that I told the joke about, they had already scripted. We had went over it with line by line, and not so that some stuff was not improv, but nothing
yeah,
inappropriate. So they knew exactly what was going to be said, and that was on Sherry Shepherd Show. This was way bigger. So they knew exactly which word, everything that was going to be said that came out. So, and the mere fact when Trump came out and said, "Oh, I don't know who he is. I didn't even know he was on the show." Absolutely not true, because you have say so over anything, everything that comes on that stage before you come out. So that, yeah, that's
yeah.
BS. That was BS, but he offended the Latin community so bad, and he did offend black people, Jews. Who, you know what shocked me the most, Bobby? Because especially with the Jewish community, that New York is so flooded with the Jewish community, and they protest and sue about everything. And the mere fact that they did not have big protests about this, but then I read somewhere that they kept this rally really on the quiet to the public, except to certain people, because he was able to fill the arena up, because they didn't want the protesters and the rally. Because I was like, well, where the Jewish community at? I know they should be protesting and having the meltdown because like a Nazi rally after the Holocaust and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
then I read somewhere else that they did keep it on the hush. So because I was like, they should have been stonewalling that place.
The whole thing, he came out, I guess he spoke for 78 minutes, which he does off the top of his head. He's just a rambling fool. He's a rambling man, like as the song goes. He said it was a love fest. It was going to be, if when he wins, it'll be Liberation Day. He is absolutely, you've spoken about this in the past. He is speaking about the win already. Like he's already setting the stage for if he loses that he's actually going to win. So it does make you a little nervous after seeing the 2020 response to his loss. And then
And and so I'm sorry, Bobby, I don't mean to
no,
cut
no,
you
no,
off,
no,
but
no, don't be silly.
the the cheat is on because Bobby, they burned the mailbox in Washington State. They burned one in Oregon. They all these vote. There was some young teenage guy walking around. I just saw the story before we came on with a machete threatening people who was going to one of the voting polls. I'm
God.
not sure what state. Then they had there was a video. There's a video on TikTok as we speak. I've seen it with my own eye of a young white boy, maybe 20, 21. He was very young, in a big white truck, and somebody cut him off road rage in Palm Beach, Florida. And he said he stuck his finger out the window and gave them the bird and said "F you" to the couple who was recording him with their child in the car. They had their baby in the car, and then he hollered, "Trump 2024, bitch." So whatever the rage or the control or the we're going to do this, and it is it is like a pressure cooker, Bobby. And I think Tuesday night will blow the top off of it because what you just said. Oh, he definitely will claim victory long before the votes are counted, just to get it going, because that's what'll kick it off.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, Bobby, you changed your lipstick. I love it.
So now on the opposite side, so we know what the message was there, and you know what? I know I probably keep beating this drum. I'm just so disappointed with Donald Trump because all of these rallies and et cetera, they're all opportunities to him kind of flip the script. Do you know, like if he all he has to do is try to win those Nikki Haley undecided swing voters, and instead of enlisting her help, I heard her on an interview this week. She hasn't spoken to him or his campaign since July. She and her team are ready to be there, but his pride keeps him from actually enlisting her in and getting those swing votes. So it just seems crazy to me. He just keeps on with the same old rhetoric. But um, Vice President Harris was in the ellipse where Trump was 4 years ago when he told everybody to fight like hell and kind of drove them down to the January 6th. Um, and she was giving what she called her closing arguments, and it was hopeful. It was, if we don't agree with people, she said, I'm going to give people a seat at the table. I'm going to, she's going to have Republicans, independents. She's going to have a more diverse cabinet. She just went on, and I felt, some of it I go the same old, we all roll our eyes because it's what we've heard. Um, but I thought, my God, it's polar opposite to what he's saying. And she's trying to get those people and drag them in.
Yeah. Well, isn't that well, Bobby? And I love that, but isn't that what America is? How
It's what it's
boring would
supposed to be.
how boring would stew be if it was just the stew meat? There was no veggies, there was
Yeah.
no carrots, there was no peas, there was no onions and bell pepper. That is what America is supposed to be: is a hodgepodge, a melting pot. Even with that, they have segregated areas. They have a Polish community. They have a Asian community. They have lots of black community. But I don't know why. The division that he has brought with the last 10 years, and it has been more than his life. The last 10 years, I heard Laura Trump speak on the Breakfast Club last week, and she said, I've known him 16 years. I said, those are 16 years that you did not know him because he has shown you who he was since the 70s. But,
Mm.
and now he's telling it. Bobby, here's the thing. You know, we love to holler, oh, you playing in my face. When I tell you, they're not playing in your face. They're telling you to your face. Kamala Harris say it to my face.
Yeah.
Trump and his people are saying exactly what they're going to do to our face. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House,
Mm.
yesterday said that he's ready to take a blowtorch to the Affordable Care Act. Now that is Obamacare for
Hmm.
you, those of you all who did not read to find out. The same people who thought that Trump sent you a stimulus check, yeah, I'm talking to you. That the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare is the exact same act. They just put a different name on it. For us, be cautious.
Yeah, be very cautious. And that he is telling us that I find that shocking too, because you watch these shows, and I watch Chris Sununu, who is New Hampshire. He's just above me. He's 30 miles away from me. I don't want to say he was sticking up for Trump, but he was saying, well, it's baked into his conversation. He's gonna talk a whole bunch of mess. I'm gonna say that's not the expression he used. And I'm thinking, no, that's not okay though, Chris. I don't want to. If we're not letting her or President Biden get along with any rhetoric, and by the way, President Biden was pissed with the whole Puerto Rico thing.
I love when he gets mad and get the
Oh,
babbling. Oh my God.
you can see he gets like a twitch in one of his eyes. And yeah, he said the only garbage that he sees are Trump supporters, and that's not what he meant. I think he means the people speaking it and the rhetoric that comes out of their mouth. But they ate him alive.
Well, that's the difference because like I told you, they will weaponize everything that we say while
Mm.
they will utilize everything that he says. And that's the difference. They weaponize what we say, but utilize what he said. Oh, that's a good title. Um,
But
make sure
he
you
came
write
out and
that.
said he made a mistake.
Yeah,
He's
Bobby, Bobby, that was, and hear me well. We are watching white privilege. I was watching Van Lathan yesterday, and Van Lathan said that we are getting a master class on what white privilege really looks like for the really, really wealthy, for the really, really rich and powerful. And because it's not that we see Donald Trump with his hand in a cookie jar. This food has stole the whole kitchen, and we looking at it on video. And y'all will tell us that's not what you're looking at. You're looking at the
Oh
Simpsons.
no. Yeah, no, that's not him in the kitchen. That's him
Yeah.
in
No,
bed
no, no. He
downstairs.
turned
Yeah.
around and smiled at the camera so you can see that it's him. And his followers still say, "Oh no,
Yep.
that's AI. That's not him." Baby, it's off the chain.
Yeah. No, I absolutely, and that's the part, I guess that's the part I'm so disappointed with, that I never anticipated, as Americans, that we would fall for it like that. I thought we were, I don't know. I thought we all had our eyes opened. Um, but I'm telling you, it's, we already know it, the margins are going to be tiny, teeny tiny. It's going to be, there's such a gap, a gender gap between the two as well. 53% of women are backing Harris, and 36 are backing Trump, and then it's almost flipped for the men. The numbers are almost the same for the men. 35, I think, backing Harris, and uh, and then the women are less, or the women are more, vice versa. Kind of crazy. And this is going to come down. You've been saying that as well. This is going to come down to the women. Women are so outraged that people are going to try to harm their bodies or tell them what to do with their bodies. Um, that's Yeah.
Well, I just when we were on the Breakfast Club the last time we did the Breakfast Club
Hmm.
together, you and I,
In
Bobby, I said
April.
that. I said it's up to women to save this country. Women, I'm
Hmm.
telling you, and I can't beat you up about um you believe in some of the things that Trump says and woo woo woo. But my question to women is, do you believe in yourself? Because he's taking away your right to believe in you. And y'all have went on
Yeah.
women empowerment, and I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm a woman, woo woo, just to sign it away to somebody else, because that's what you're doing. You're signing it away to somebody else.
And it's only the beginning. I want people to realize, if they're doing this with abortion and with infertility, what's the next step? What's the next? It'll be interracial marriages. It'll be gay rights and gay support. It's just going to continue and continue and continue. So we can't let them start. We've got to stand up for this. So I'm hoping, but they're calling it the coin flip election because it is so stinking close. I Just before I came on, it was Harris, according to the News Nation polls, is 48.8%, and Trump was 47.6. So she has it by a nose, as they would say, in horse racing,
Again, as we
barely.
have said again on it, as we have said on this show with them polls, we are losing until
Hmm.
we win.
Yeah, get out there. Bring your. So the other thing that I actually heard Whoopi Goldberg saying it today. If you've got elders, because I've noticed that my mother has gotten a few calls, please bring your elder to the poll, because they somebody could try to do the flim flam on them. Oh no, you didn't sign this. You didn't get this right. You've got a mark on your ballot. No, let somebody that is sharp enough, and that's not going to let somebody kind of bowl over them, go with them. And make
Yeah.
sure that everything is okay. And they could say, no, no, she's right. She signed it. Here it is. She's all set. I checked myself. Um, want to talk about an ass kisser or a brown noser. RFK Jr. Did you see that he's up in a snit right now because the Supreme Court would not take his case on it as emergency to take his names off the ballot, because those are some of the swing votes, and they could end up going to Kamala or being checked with him, and they'll go to nobody. But they said want no, but they did go about that. They did go on about, is it West Virginia, or was it Virginia? I guess it's just Virginia. They're allowing them to take um, suspected illegals off of the
I
voter
saw that,
list.
Bob. We had an episode called "The Cheat Is On," and it's right in our face. Back to
Mm.
RFK Jr. I don't even know what to say about RFK
Sorry.
Jr. You know,
No.
he brown nosed to get his, but we watching Elon Musk and that judge that let Trump
Ah,
off, get in the same position to make sure that they get a position on the cabinet. It is, and especially that one that Elon Musk is, they create a position for him, and he's giving away $1 million a day to people who are signing in the swing states. Listen, I don't know. I know that we've heard of the
Pennsylvania's
word.
suing them.
Yeah, we've heard the word dirty politics before, but damn, how dirty can you
Yeah.
get?
No, that is Pennsylvania. I was kind of shocked. I saw that they were suing him over it. So I don't know how far they'll get or what they'll be able to do. I also thought I was really disappointed with Jeff Bezos. They had
Yeah,
an endorsement ready for Harris, and he pulled that back, as well as I think it's the LA Times. I hope I'm not
yeah,
speaking out
it's
of
LA
turn.
time. Yeah,
Also
yeah,
pulled their endorsement. Yeah. It's the first time in
and
36 years that the Post hasn't endorsed.
and I'm gonna say this, Bobby. My opinion. This is not the opinion of Black Effect or Bobby Clifford or anybody else. This is my opinion.
Hmm.
I believe it's all on fear. I believe that they are because he has put out the
Absolutely.
if I win and you have win against me, I'm coming to get you. Not
Mm.
a policy. That is the one policy he has stayed true to. I'm coming to get you. So I believe that they believe that just in case he wins, they are just covering their own ass. It's a sure bet that he's going to come and get them. Now, it ain't a sure bet that he's going to do the job. But if she don't win, she hasn't put out any threats, but he has put out many threats. They petrified. That fear is a son of a bitch.
Well, that's his whole campaign, unfortunately, has been the revenge tour. Now, I don't know if he'll because I mean, the president has power, but it doesn't have as many like the Project 2025. It tells us what they want to do. It doesn't mean that he's going to be able to do all of it because he needs the Senate and the Congress to pass stuff. But at least we know what their intention is, so we know where they want to go. I don't know what he'll actually be able to do to make people miserable, but the fact that he wants to do it at all, I mean, that's a whole other thing that's been all over the news is election anxiety. How people are feeling so stressed and they don't know where things are going, and the uncertainty and what will happen after, even if Vice President Harris wins the presidency, the mess and the potential violence and or danger that could happen after it. It's a lot for people.
And every that anxious thing, Bobby, anxiety thing, I've been telling people, I think you have to pull back for a day or two. Whatever the outcome is going to be, as long as you have done your part as an American citizen and you have voted, and you voted the way you wanted to vote, because I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. You know who you are. And I say what I say. You know who you are. I ain't talking, because sometimes the vote ain't even about the candidate. You're
Hmm.
voting for yourself. You know who you are and you know what you want. So,
Hmm.
and again, I said before, he ain't no different from them. They are the same people. Those people are the same people. That's why when you hear a lifelong Republican like Arnold Schwarzenegger say that he has chosen, and Liz Cheney say that they have chosen country over party, that is what because those people are voting for themselves.
Well, and they're
Y'all
voting for
know.
the country. They're patriots. They actually believe
Yes,
they
but
believe in the country first. Yes.
yes, but they know, and that's not changing their party. They're still Republicans. They just want to live, and they don't want to live in all this hell and chaos that they see brewing. The writing is on the wall. I hope you guys are paying attention. Get the light like the police got, and put the blue light on it. You can see the blood because there's blood on those writings in the wall. It's gonna be crazy. So please be careful.
Did you see Steve Bannon was released from prison just in
And may
time?
I see. Did you see that? Did you see it? Will he make the cabinet? Will he be on the cabinet?
Oh, that's the scary part. So it's not even if Trump got in. Even though he's trying to pretend that he led with his B team, the first time around, he didn't. He led with the A team. He wasn't prepared, and they didn't agree with him. He's going to have nothing on this time, the B team, or it'll be the D team. They'll be sycophants and ass kissers. They're just going to be people who are going to want to do for him. So, do I think that Steve Bannon will have a cabinet position? You bet your hiney I do.
Well, wait a minute. He's a convicted felon. He just got out of prison. How could he possibly have a
Oh,
position on the cabinet?
he'll figure something out. I don't know what it would be. Maybe he'll be over the prisons or something. I have no idea. Yeah, two counts of contempt of Congress, right? That's what he went in for. So God knows. Yeah, but do I believe that he will do that? Trump will try to put him in there because we know he went down like he did the time. He still came out smiling and like a banana head, and going go Trump. He didn't even get angry. He should have been a little upset. He's upset with only you and me, and all the rest
Well,
of the
I'm just
Dems.
I'm just gonna say it from this aspect. I seen him, and I know he's been gone for quite some time. And from what I remember about prison food, it really ain't that good. But he don't look like he lost
Right?
no weight. So somebody
And,
was sneaking some turkeys up in there.
yeah, he did, and he looked like he needed a haircut too. I'm like, don't they like, can't they shave your hair or do something in there?
Oh,
Um,
he looked like he didn't miss a meal, and the prison food did him right because he ain't lost no weight. Oh, but he's
and
out now. So I only got three words for you. Ozempic.
yes, I agree. I think he needs a little bit of something. Some good news that we got. The economy. They said finally. We waited for this. Not that we didn't have it. Of course, it has to be on the way. As poor President Biden is going on his way out the door. They said that we had a rare achievement known as something called a soft landing, in the economy. That it's a scenario where inflation is tamed without there being any type of recession. So they gave Bidenomics, which everybody has been saying no to, a thumbs up. He managed it. He did it correctly to manage what we were coming out of the pandemic, keeping everything stimulated, those checks that you were getting. Um, and I know that prices are up. I mean, we're all feeling it, but he managed to keep us out of a recession, which is pretty impressive.
Well, congratulations on that, President Biden. But I was about to say, because groceries high as hell. Let me don't even front.
Yeah,
And if they didn't lower
it
the
is. It's
prices somewhere,
awful.
somebody better tell the Ralphs up the street from my house, because good God, them prices are high. And
It's
sometimes you look at things,
crazy.
and the basic things that you usually buy, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's the price? And I'm like, wait a minute, how much is it? So you think they really like mocked up the price? I'm like, some of this stuff, and you don't get a lot of groceries for your. So that gripe that's coming from the American people, I get that, but I'm telling you, Trump inherited a good economy. Trump
He
shook
did.
that economy up in 4 years. He shook that economy up by not taxing some of these major
Yeah,
corporations and some of these billionaires and making
he
and
did.
putting all that weight on the middle class. He did that.
He did. He did. And things are nobody's. I mean, President Biden would say it as well. I loved it. He went in the other day. I mean, I know it was a photo op, but he went in and he voted early. President Biden, and he was pushing a lady that was out in the hallway, and he wheeled her in so she could vote as well. And of course, they have to yell, "Oh, is it bittersweet, Joe?" And he said, "No, it's just sweet." And I thought, good attitude, Joe. You know how to be presidential.
Well, I love to see the seniors going in there. They had a lady on
Yeah.
TikTok, or an older lady, older black woman. She said that back in the day that they had to pay, uh, it was a poll tax on black people, and they had to pay $2 to vote. And
Mm.
that was just 1960. And I know to some of y'all that sounds like ages ago, but to people Bobby's age, that wasn't that long ago.
Oh, it must be way before. It was way before my time. But no, but it is sort of amazing to think. They used to
and
do the
and
same to women way
And
back
hold
too.
on, Bobby. And so the older
Yep.
lady, she had to be in her 70s at least. She had one of the walker things in front of her, and you could
Yeah.
tell that her ankles looked like she had lymphedema. She had the big
Mm.
ankles. But she
Yeah.
says, I have joy. And she said, I had to pay $2 to vote, but now I'm voting for free. I got joy in my feet. And she did a little shimmy. And I thought that that was so
Ah.
touching and overwhelming to be like, oh my God, because that is who we're voting for. What's happening to us? What happened to them in that era? We should be way past that. They trying to take us all the way back to before her era. I ain't going. I know what Kamala says she ain't going, but I ain't going for shit. I'm telling you, I'm fighting
Yeah.
every step of the way.
I have. It's funny down my street, and I feel, and I want to get your opinion because you're in California, see if you're the same. I am seeing the least amount of political signs in people's yards this year than I've ever seen. Usually every other yard would have something in it. When I walk the dog down the end of the street, there is a Harris Walls. There are a couple of signs, but one of them says Harris Walls, and then underneath it it says obviously. And I thought that I said, "Oh my God, isn't that cute?" We have like a record high of people that are voting. There are already 56 million voters. That was as of yesterday when I got the information, have cast their ballot. And Trump is counting on the fact that there are more Republicans that are voting. It doesn't tell us who they're voting for. It just tells us that this time that they're actually voting. And that's usually unusual. Usually it's the Democrats that will do the vote early. But so I'm very interested to see. Part of me wants it to be
Well,
the end of next week, and then the other part's scared.
yeah, story time. You said Trump said that people are more people. So if Trump said it, you can't believe it because I don't believe nothing that comes out that man's mouth. I don't even think his name Donald for real.
Yeah.
Uh, according
Yeah.
to him.
I think he's assuming. He's assuming that
I
he's
think he
that
is.
because
I think he is
yeah.
baiting his
Yeah.
base. He's just giving them a great bait because they're setting to me, my opinion. They set it up that no matter how it goes down, we won because he said
Yep.
on his rally that there's no possible way we could lose. That to me was a out and out dog whistle. We were so worried about what Tony said about the different races, but Trump said that there is no possible way we could lose unless they cheat, which is letting them know that if he loses, that we cheated. Which is what they're doing
Yeah.
in our
No.
face, but for
Yeah.
him to say it like that, that plants a seed of doubt right there,
No,
and
that's
that's
what
all
it's
it
doing.
takes is a
Yeah.
seed. Yeah.
Especially with his
Woo!
crowd, because some of his crowd is it's a little out there. It's a movie that I keep hearing about. I don't know about it, but you are an old movie lover, so you might know it. I think I want to watch it this week because everybody says so much of it is what's going on right now. Jimmy Stewart and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen that movie?
Yeah.
That's what they're talking. They said there was a line they keep saying, all of the pundits, that great principles don't get lost once they come to light. So they actually are more hopeful about what's going on. It had to sort of happen, they said, for our democracy to move forward. Um, and they're assuming that the right person's going to win and all of that jazz. But I said, I've never seen that movie before, so I don't even know what I don't even know the
Yeah.
line they're talking about.
I haven't seen it in years, but I do believe that people, even who are afraid and who will not, like when you saying that about your signs, because I've been in this neighborhood now for
Yeah.
3 years, and I have seen way less political signs than usual because I think
Mm,
people are afraid to put up what they
yeah,
really want to
I
put up
agree.
because they don't know what kind of backlash they're going to get. Somebody may set somebody's house on fire. That's how crazy some of these people have become. So I get why they're not doing that. But this is different though, Bobby. The climate of this whole election is different. It's
Hmm.
almost like not I'm better than you, but I you belong to me. I'm telling you, that Tony Hinchcliffe did a lot. That line was mean as shit, but he opened a lot of people's eyes to how people see other people.
I know, and it's disappointing. It's so disappointing. My mother has been saying this like civil war and is since Trump got in the first time or when he was running. And I thought she was nuts. I thought she was nuts, not because I didn't think that that somebody could do it or turn people's heads. I thought we were stronger as Americans and we were stronger in South. I didn't realize that there was the racism that we have out there because I don't live in that. So, and I have to say, I don't see it in my day to day. I don't live in an area that it's discussed or whatever.
Oh,
But now I
so you don't
realize
see my black. Oh, so you don't see my black.
I
Oh,
do
hold
see
on.
your
So
black.
you don't see my black.
No, that's not true. But
I'm
I don't
messing
judge.
with you, Bobby.
I don't judge you on it. And I don't and I didn't think that other people did too. And so what I'm disappointed about is they're just keeping their mouth shut and they never realized it. Um and I'm
But
disappointed with that.
I think when they get in those ballot polls, or I think when they get in those booths,
I
Bobby,
do
they're going
too.
to vote to save this country more than they're going to vote how
I,
they
I,
even
I
if
do
they have
too.
some of those feelings, which I think everybody pretty much that has some kind of way. But even
Yeah.
I think they're going to quietly vote to like let's get rid of not no more. It's just too much. It has become
Yeah.
barbaric almost.
No, and I agree with that. I agree. We talked about this the last time that Liz Cheney had made a comment that she thinks a lot of people that are like her are going to just keep their mouth shut. So the other person that came out was Barbara Bush, George Bush's daughter. She's knocking door to door in Pennsylvania today, trying to get people to vote for Kamala Harris. And so that makes me think that the Bushes are voting that way. They're just not coming
Listen,
out. They're keeping their mouth shut.
Kamala got the juice right now. I ain't gonna even front because she done had Taylor Swift come out for her. Then she had Queen B, Beyonce,
Beyonce,
and
yeah.
Kelly Rowland, and Miss Mama Tina. I'm like, Beyonce got the not the just the
And
heavy hitters,
Michelle,
but
yeah, Michelle
yeah,
was out with her. I have to say
and
though,
of course, on President Obama. So
yeah.
she got Bill Clinton. Look, Bill Clinton then came out of retirement to speak up for her. I said, ooh,
Oh, I
it
know.
is.
I wanted Beyonce to sing though. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed. I wanted her to go out on a song or give me a shake or a shimmy or something. Nothing.
Girl, you know she's a mother of three. She ain't got time for
I
y'all. Leave that
know.
lady alone. I told somebody, I said, y'all do know that lady got three kids. You don't know what kind of day she had with three kids. I got
I know,
three. You'll never know when I had a shitty day because I ain't gonna come on live.
yeah, I know. I'm just telling you, I was disappointed. She would have. I love her anyway, but I would have loved her even more if she gave me a little something, something.
Well, this between her and the Swifties, the Beehive and the Swifties, that's a lot of people. And when I seen when after what's his name? What's the comedian's name?
The Kill Tony guy.
Tony, yeah,
Yeah,
after he made that statement, J Lo, Ariana Grande, Ricky
Bad
Martin,
Bunny, Bad
Bad Bunny,
Bunny.
so many Latino celebrities of Latino descent band together like, oh yeah, you're not gonna play in our face. And I love that. Oh, I absolutely love that. They like, nope, absolutely not.
Me
And like
too.
you said, they like to have babies. It's plenty of them. You better look out because it's gonna look like one of them rolling up on you. But you know they had them cousins up in their shirts and in their pocket and their back seat. Baby, it's gonna be about 15 of them on you. You ain't gonna even see it coming. And I ain't talking about like I'm talking about at the voting poll. Y'all, they gonna band together. And I stand with the Latino community because they always been wonderful to me. That was some bullshit right there. Oh my God, Bobby, that was like what? That is the American we are. We cannot believe some of the things that we are looking at in this political fight for to be the president because it's unheard of. And if Biden, Obama, hell, Kennedy, hell, Eisenhower, any of them would have did 1% of what this man is
Oh,
doing, they would have been out of there, like without question. Woo!
I mean,
That's
we're still
scary.
talking about Michelle wearing her shirtless shirts and or sleeveless shirts and her arms showing. And poor during the heat of the summer, um, President Obama had the nerve to wear a lightweight tan suit. And here we are, 16 years later, still bitching about it. So are you kidding me? I think that's the part I'm disappointed. Everybody that's supposed to be, I'm a Libra, everything has to be fair. There should be parity. And there is just another set of rules for this guy, and I just don't get it. I don't think it's fair, and I'm so disappointed that people don't call on it. And that Kill Tony guy, his career just took a whole different turn. He's either going to be a professional roaster, but of white people, or he's going to have his podcast is going to be his numbers might go up, but it's going to be all the hateful people in the world. It's not going to be who he wants to be reaching out to. So
Bobby, let me ask you a question from one black person to a
sure,
white person.
okay.
Do you think do
One black person to another. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in.
I no Bobby? Unlike you, I see your white. I see your white. Uh,
You're
um,
too funny.
Bobby, do you as a white woman for real in this country
Mhm.
is Donald Trump getting white privilege from a white person's aspect?
He's getting all sorts of privilege. He gets wealthy person privilege. That's the big thing that we're seeing right now. But absolutely getting white privilege. He wakes up and he's got nothing but privilege. But yeah, he's got double though. He's got not just white people. He's got because look at all the poor white people that are in the Appalachian Mountains and everything. He give two shits about them. But they're his actual base. He's got the white and he's got the wealthy.
No,
Um,
and I was asking you as a white woman because you
yeah.
know so that I'm saying this. I know that, and I do know that
Absolutely.
there are different levels to privilege. But my God, is this the top shelf?
This is it. He's got the trifecta. He really does. You know, and he's now the third level is power, right? So he's in that in crowd. And now he's been the president before, so he's got three different layers of privilege. And the sad thing is he is the way he is because that's how he led and that's how he's maneuvered through life, through privilege. He doesn't know what it's like to be a real person, to worry about a bill, to worry about anything, to even worry about your kids. The nannies came in and took care of his kids. You know, like he didn't have to. He's a different being than you and me. He he he
You
lives
have to
in
ask
privilege.
yourself. You have to ask yourself, which tank would you get in? The swimming tank with the great white shark, or with the great white Trump? Because woo, either way, you might get bit. Good God.
Or gassed out. Yeah, there at least there'd be some maybe some
Oh
bubbles of some
yuck.
sort.
Oh, Bobby, yuck. Oh. That is but that's so scary. And then, like you said, Bobby, and Vice President Harris has been saying that he would be in with unchallenged power. There would be nobody to challenge him. They would let. So if he
That's
woke up
right.
and had a bad day, and he would have the codes to the nukes because he had a bad day, and and maybe things weren't all aligned in his mind, and he did some bad shit and hit them up. We are all toast and collateral damage because we put somebody who might not have had a good day. That's how we're going to say it. In control of everything. Y'all better knock it off. Y'all better knock it off. You better knock it
and
off.
and and get out and vote and not just for him. So there are 13 different states that could flip the Senate. Arizona, Florida, Maryland, Michigan, Missouri, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. And if you're in one of those states, you've got to go and vote your party or vote the person that's going to do the best for you. Because and the same goes for, and I'm not going to go and rattle off all the states for Congress because we could flip. If we can flip Congress in this, it's tight. It's only a number of people. Then we don't have to worry about Mike Johnson and Trump, who he's bragging about. They have a big secret that's coming. If Hakeem Jeffries is the Speaker of the House,
Speaker.
the joke will be on them. So please get out and vote not just for the president, but you've got to vote for your Senate and your Congress and the
Oh,
people that
Bobby,
are
I'm sorry.
local.
I'm sorry for laughing. Thank you for that information, Bobby. But when you just said that Mike Johnson and Trump got a big secret, my man went straight to high school like, oh, oh, look,
Well,
oh. Now, if y'all ain't read between the lines, because I don't want to say that publicly, but oh.
it's the truth. We got to worry about the balance of power. In the Senate right now, it is 51 to 49. It is a very thin margin that's being held. So, and that we hold. So we have to hold, keep hold of it. And we really have to go at least for Congress as well, because it's just as slim on the other side.
And I just want to say this, y'all think y'all can imagine a world, and you think you can imagine a world where the president, the House, and the Senate are all in control. But imagine that they have the Supreme Court as well, because if he
That's
wins,
the,
God
yep.
forbid, he can appoint three more judges of his choice. That would mean that he would have the dominant number for real in the Supreme Court. What would that be? 6 to 7 or six to nine?
We only have three, so it would be yeah. It would be, so they want to keep it. What they want to do is it's 6 to 3, and three people are saying Thomas, the chief, and I'm blanking on the other one, are all saying that they'd like to retire, but they don't want to retire unless they can keep the same seat. So if it was Donald Trump who was getting in, he pulled the first time he put three very conservatives. The other ones have kind of swayed a little over the years. There would be no sway. He'd put three more equally conservative, and the three Democrats they'd be up against. There'd be just like no point of coming to work,
Yeah, they would
for
get
them.
stonewall for everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Scary. So,
S-
so, and like Bobby said, vote down the ballot. Make sure that you do your
yeah,
research. They send you a sample ballot. You Google everything else. All you gotta
yeah,
do is Google and see who their candidate is and see what their policies are,
yeah.
because it's all right there in black and white. We have to also do our due diligence and do our part. we look. We have passed the ball to Kamala, and if we want her to alley oop it, we got to be behind her, screaming and supporting her. This is what we want.
Hmm.
This is the life that we chose. And I'm telling you right now, at Project 2025, those documents, the paper, the words on those pages are very scary. If you haven't read them, 900
Very
pages.
scary.
Very scary. Bobby, it was something else we were supposed to talk about, and I can't. Oh. Shout out to the LA Dodgers. Y'all come on and bring this on home tonight. I know y'all want to win in LA, but y'all win down there and let them tear the Bronx up. Don't let them come back and tear LA up. Oh my God. Girl, if we win, they're going to tear the damn city up. Come on, LA
Whoop,
Dodgers.
whoop.
Come on. And I'm not even a big baseball fan, but the city is so excited about the LA
It
Dodgers
is.
that
It's good. Yeah.
it gets all over you. So it's kind of all over me. I'm like, come on, LA Dodgers. So go to the boys in blue and gray. Come on, LA, bring it on back. But y'all win there. Please don't come here. They're going to tear it down, and the traffic is already bad. Good God, Jesus, help me.
And they
Oh
really
my God.
do. They really do. So vote locally, everybody. Vote. Checks and balances. We need a degree of power. Go Dodgers. I'm trying to think of anything. Happy Halloween. Anything else? Did we miss anything else?
That's Bobby's birthday, Halloween.
Yeah.
And if you want to see me, this Monday and Tuesday, I will be with Tiffany
Yeah.
Haddish at the City Winery in Nashville, Tennessee, the 4th and the 5th. And then on the 8th, we'll be in New York City at the City Winery. And on the 22nd and 23rd, we'll be in Chicago at the City Winery. Go to tiffanyhaddish.com to get your tickets. My name ain't on the bill, but I'm damn sure on the show. So y'all get your tickets and come on out. I'm with Bobby. I hope that you have voted. I implore early voting if that works best for you. I went in and voted the other day, put it on video because I had to go because I won't be here. And I did listen. I cannot miss this one. It can't say we lost by one vote and I'll be like, damn, I didn't vote. Then the guilt would be that I was the reason that we lost. Please
You
don't you be
would.
the reason.
It would, but
Please
you
don't
didn't
you be the
dance.
reason.
You didn't
Yeah,
dance. You didn't dance. I'm
no,
very
no.
disappointed.
But I'm saying to my audience, when I
Yes.
say you, please don't be the reason. You can never take it
Yeah.
back, and there will be no do-overs. And according to him, this will be it as far as voting goes for you. For
Whatever
you.
that means, because
Yeah,
he's telling us, he's coming
yeah.
right out and telling us, although all his people are saying, all his surrogates are coming and telling us we're nuts, but he's telling us. So
Yes, Bobby. Yes, surrogates.
please. Yeah.
So listen, here at Laugh and Learn, thank you guys for joining us. The motto hasn't changed. You can follow me on Instagram at Monroe Flame, Coffee Time on YouTube at Flame Monroe, Facebook, TikTok Flame Monroe 125, and you can follow Bobbi Clifford at Bobbi Clifford on Facebook and at Clifford Bobby on Instagram. You can also, if you have questions, ideas, topics, you can send them to Laugh and Learn Podcast on Instagram, Bobbi Clifford to get them. And
Hmm.
she'll dissect them. Because if you send them to me, I'll be like, girl, knock it off. But thank you guys for joining us. Here at Laugh and Learn, our motto has not changed, and we hope that it won't change because, woo, these next 4 years might get scary and hairy. Here at Laugh and Learn, we are not trying to get you to change your mind. We are only trying to get you to use your mind. Because why, Bobby?
Because a mind and a vote are a terrible thing to waste.
Please vote, y'all. Good God, please vote. This is it. Good. This one right here is the big kahuna.
Hmm. Not this big kahuna, the vote.
Happy Halloween. Trick your treat or treat your trick. Either one, whichever one works for you. Bye.
Bye.
Laugh and learn.